What up, y'all? It's your man Abuamerican out here enjoying a unseasonably warm German October, unseasonably sunny. Um, I wanted to talk about a comment that was left behind that accidentally got deleted while I was going through the management section of my YouTube. It was by a girl named Tina Adams. She's obviously a Black American woman. Now, here's the thing: Tina Adams, she left a comment on my video. No, you don't deserve a good man. Well, she wanted to leave the comment before it accidentally got deleted. And Tina, I apologize for that. It wasn't my intention to, create an echo chamber of just, people who like my page. Now, just cut to the chase. Tina Adams basically said that she's happy she married a white male 15 years ago. What else was it? Black men, regardless of whatever ethnicity they marry into, they have the highest divorce rate, and that black men are losers. Now, there's so much puerility going on in this comment, I wasn't really sure where to start. So let me start with just, first and foremost, the most basic and puerile of Black American female commentary is, your daddy's black. But you probably wouldn't know that as a Black American, because there's a 70% chance that you didn't grow up with a man in the house. You see, and this is going to bring me to the primary thing on your comment. Black America has been a living matriarchy for decades upon decades. And in order to find stability and men who know how to operate, to get that security and safety that women seek, you had to go to a white patriarchy. You jumped the fence to get what you were looking for. But you see, black women have been raising black men for decades, and now you're complaining about those black men that you black women have been raising. So in the spirit of that, I have to ask, don't you see the irony of your comment? Black American women kicked Black American men out of the house decades ago. And the Black American community became a matriarchy. Matriarchies are chaos because women are chaotic. Y'all are very emotional. One day you want this, one day you want that. One moment you want this, one moment you're like that. You're all over the place all the time. And that's how you run a community. So I got interrupted. I can't remember where I was. We were talking Black patriarchy, matriarchies. Anyway, let's just start back off with the matriarchy section. I got interrupted with something. Okay. So, matriarchy has been the call of order in the black community for decades. 40, 50, 60 years, I can't remember exactly. And it hasn't really been working out very well for the Black American community. We see it's in utter chaos and it's in madness, Oh, angry dog.
Das funktioniert.
Ja, Nummer 9, das funktioniert. Unten Nummer 9. Gerät Nummer 9, das ist Nummer 10. Die nächste funktioniert. Ja. That's what threw me off last time. I was talking to that guy. Darn! What was it? Patriarchy. Oh, I'm so sidetracked now. Ah, yes. So, Black matriarchy. It's created a chaotic neighborhood and community. And if you think I'm incorrect, then I direct you to your nearest African American community and tell me about the functionality of that community. I think we can go this way, man. It's dysfunctional. You and I both know it. This is what the matriarchy in the Black American community has created. And it has created men who don't know how to function as a patriarch. Why is this important to your comment? You said, I'm happy with my white man. Yes, you're happy with the security that the white man brings because he grew up in a functional patriarchy, so he understands how to be a patriarch. You're blaming Black American men for the environment that Black American women created and continue to perpetuate. How are they losers? They're acting like you are. Irrational, emotional, and just irrational and emotional. What else is there to it? So that aspect of your comment is just already just says you have no concept or idea or clue of what you're talking about. Next, women are sexual gatekeepers and selectors. You pick who you're going to have sex with, and you give them access or you deny them access. So if you're picking partners, black, white, or whatever, and they're terrible, that says a lot about your ability to judge character. It says more about your character than it does that person. Because historically, there's always been losers in every community. There's white losers. You saying there aren't any white loser males? But white women who grew up in a patriarchy understand how to pick a proper male partner because they grew up with a proper male partner figurehead. Now, this has been changing with the rise of feminism and women just going around and slut shaming and all this stuff being ended, and therefore they're making these bad choices in men. The bad boy that gives them the gyno tingles. I'll catch up to you in a minute, son. Obviously, something's going wrong in the white American community. It's the rise of feminism. It's the same thing that happened in the black American community. And any white people watching this, I'm telling you, if you don't want to end up like the black American community, you better put a lock and key on those women. Because we didn't do it, and look at our women. Look at our communities. Do you really want that to happen to yours? I don't want it to happen to you guys. I don't want this to be maintained in the black American community. Anyway, back to Tina Adams. Tina Adams, being married to a white guy, who cares? Had you watched more than that one video on my channel, you'd know that I was married to a white woman for 23 years, a German. That's why I speak German. I've been with Arabs, I've been with Africans, and to be honest, the appeal of African American women, it's not there. Now, maybe it harms or hurts people, certain people, maybe Pan-Africanists who believe in, racial exclusion or exclusivity. Maybe it bothers them, that you're dating a white person. But for me, I don't find it disturbing at all. There's only one race in my eyes, and it's the human race. And if a person wants to choose a particular ethnicity to be with, if they find it more attractive, or other ethnicities, including their own, to be less attractive, that's their business. But what I find stupid is your lame excuse in choosing a white guy. It's like you're here trying to convince us that they're better men, and they're not. They're just men. And they're men who grew up in a functional patriarchy, one that you sought out after your compatriots, black women, destroyed the black American male patriarchy. And now you want to jump the fence and try and think we're going to feel bad for your work? See, this is the problem with gynocentrism. It removes responsibility, accountability from women. And that's what you want. You want authority without responsibility or accountability. You want to throw men under the bus for not being real men, but then at the same time you want power. Let me tell you something. Men do not want power or control over something. Men do not claim it as their own, if they aren't in control of it. That's why when black women say we're the most unprotected and hated group of women there are out of all ethnicities. Yeah, because that's what you've chosen for yourself. Nobody's chosen that for you but yourself. Is there more to add? Probably, but you know what? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I have to ask you, Tina Adams, what are you doing here? I'm here just telling men that, we have value, we have worth, and that, you should look to yourself for validation. You should look to your accomplishments, not to a woman, not to society, because the two will follow you having value for yourself and increasing your value. That validation, it'll come. You don't need to look for it. Improve yourself as a man. Be a better man. Don't worry about this stuff. Don't think in terms of apotheosis and virtue of women. Like some woman said, a black woman. All women are virtuous. Get the frick out of here. I'm here to dispel that idea. Men have always been the maintainers and builders of societies. Through patriarchy. One that you sought out. A functional one. After your predecessors, your mothers and your grandmothers, destroyed the one that functioned with the black America. And if you don't think black America had a functional patriarchy, then you're a damn fool. You didn't look at Black Wall Street. You didn't look at Tuskegee. You didn't look at like Greenville. You haven't looked at all these famous black American communities who were destroyed by white patriarchy. And I'm not a racist. I'm not hating on white people. It's part of r/k selection where people want to fight and compete. And that's what they did. And we weren't fit enough to fight back, unfortunately. And that's why I say I don't want equality of outcomes for Black America. I want equality of opportunity without interference. Because that's interference when you become successful and people attack you. You jump the fence to those guys. I'm still not hating on you. That's your choice and that's your option, and nobody's hating on you for it. But don't throw Black America under the bus when the opportunity to say, hey, you know what, we're going to stick it out with our men. We're not going to put them out of the house for a couple of dollars. When that opportunity was presented and you women ran with the dollars, and when the signs were there in the first generation, when things started going bad and you had the opportunity to like a sailor, make tact with his ship so that he stays on course, you didn't do it. Don't come here thinking you're going to try and shame us for your foolishness, for your farkery as women. And now when I speak out, because the last functional patriarchies in the West are run by white people, and feminism is trying to do to white patriarchy, which I live in and which I live under happily right now, and not just because it's white, just because it's a functioning patriarchy, because when I walk around and drive around the streets and everything looks nice, unlike the Black American community, I'm pleased with that. And were the Black American community allowed to have a functional patriarchy, our communities would look the same. But unfortunately, it's not. When I protest about this and I talk about this, so that at least white guys will, maybe see the alarm bells, and they do. There's guys who are more articulate, more versed, more knowledgeable on this subject and topic than I am, talking about it with a greater viewership than me. Well, then you want to come here and get mad, even though you ran to that. You're a damnable fool. You're just another argumentative, bitter, angry Black woman. You are the epitome. You are the classic example of what Black American women are portrayed as on television. You are a worthless wretch. Not because you're with a white guy, but because you came here to argue with me about something that I've been saying the whole time is correct, aka patriarchy, and you went and ran to that. You're a case in point. You're a study for my point. You've confirmed it by saying you're happy you were with your white man, and then you want to come here and argue with me as if, as a Black man, I'm bad and I'm wrong and I'm this, that, the other, and we're losers and what, yada 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 yada. Well, Black women had that and y'all threw it out the window, and now you want to jump the fence to white guys so that you can get it again. And you look like a complete ass coming here talking about white men and how much better they are. You're completely and totally dysfunctional. And in order to get that security, safety, and functionality that you wanted, you ran back to what you Black American women destroyed. Damnable fool. Damnable fool. This is why I don't take women seriously. Because anything that comes out of your mouth is stupid. Almost anything. I can't say everything. There are some women I actually deal with that are intellectually quite sound and intelligent. But for the most part, 90% of you gits, you just dumb. Yeah, you're stupid and you shouldn't be speaking. You shouldn't have access to the internet. You should only have access to the kitchen. And I guarantee you, well, anyway, I'm not going to speculate on your relationship. But anyway, look, Tina Adams, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. You can catch me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all under Abuamerican. And you can watch this loser Black American man who's traveled to 42 countries, probably more than your white guy. Not that it matters that he's white. My grandfather's white, but I don't care. But since you want to bring up race and everything, like that's made a difference to me in my 42 countries. And you can catch me on Instagram, traveling the world. Maybe you'll get some ideas of places you want to go to with you and your hubby. Yeah, you're here already. Why not go ahead and sign up? Watch me be a loser. Catch me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Abuamerican. I'm out, people.